Yeah, I just finished making a dreadful mistake of like attempting to sing. I remember my friend Brandon. He discovered that I was playing guitar in the subway, and one of the people who told him what I was up to was like, yeah, he was like attempting to sing as well. And it turned out to be this dude, um, Alex. It turned out to be a cop, which explains one of the reasons why I didn't, recognize him as he, you know, see me, saw me, trying to use proper English, playing my guitar. Um, with the weather getting nicer, that's one of the things I hope to return to. Um, like I know I would go to, well, I'm not gonna, mention like my spot for fear of somebody going there and, you know, basically, taking over, what I established, but, or at least that particular street corner. But, I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, like I said, as the weather is getting nicer, that like on a given day, I remember before I left for Chicago, like I made like $40 easily, just like strumming guitars, reciting a couple of songs I knew from like the back of my hand, and it was like $40 for just like sitting down for like roughly 2 hours and just like doing what I would normally be doing at home anyway, just like sitting on my guitar and having a good time. It seems like a win-win scenario. Um, Speaking of Chicago, that was one of the reasons why I quit, busking in the first place because, like, I remember one night I was freezing and I was at a bus stop freezing my ass off with my guitar, and it was about 3 years ago. But like, I was like seriously questioning, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, here I am, like, at a bus stop. It's like it feels like below freezing, and like, at the time, I'll be 29 in like another 3 months, but at the time I was like 26, and like typically when you're 26, you're more or less like, I guess you're in between like career exploration and like at that brink of like I read the psychology book where like between the ages, I forgot the specific age brackets, but I'm typically like right now I'm currently in the stage like of middle adulthood. I've passed the stage of like young adulthood from the ages of 18 to 24, where you're typically either like in college, you graduate college, and you're doing like some career exploration. You're out like exploring. Like most people, they work jobs like, when they're 16, 18, whatever. But I guess like after you get like that diploma degree, you're basically, you know, something completely off topic. I'm definitely one of the reasons why, like, I made the failure of going from point A to point B is my interview skills are shit. I mean, like even doing a mock interview with my therapist, it just like reaffirmed basically, you know, like I remember my school, the way they prepared you for interview was for them to have a camera in the room and basically, record your mock interview. And at the time, I was like, fuck that. I'm like, I wouldn't go through that humiliation seeing myself, you know, struggling through questions like, oh, like, what are your strengths and weaknesses? And, tell me about yourself. And, yeah, I just basically, I mean, I could state the obvious, like, yeah, I'm here because I need a job and I'm broke. And I mean, I can go into specifics, like, yeah, it's going to cost $1,500 for me to get a, root canal and crown work. And like, the only way I'm going to pay for that, like, I remember in this particular scene in The Wedding Singer where Adam Sandler says, like, yeah, basically I have a fridge and above that fridge is a piggy bank, and I would like to fill that piggy bank, and that's where you come in. And I don't know, something told me like to try my hand at comedy as well. And then like maybe it was like a couple of weeks ago, I was on this website, Chatonic, and I was like, telling a couple of jokes I thought was funny, but I was basically getting heckled. And then other people would tell jokes, and I don't know. It wasn't like, I mean, it's probably like as like corny, if not worse, and they wasn't getting as much shit. So I don't know. Maybe comedy as something I may not consider doing. Although it's something I may want to try once, even if I like do decide to go all out and go to amateur night at the Apollo. You know, Dave Chappelle talked about. You know, I went there and I got booed, and then I realized like getting booed wasn't that bad. Um, if I were to like go with my guitar and like really attempt to like really, I don't know, perform comfortably numb and, people start booing me, I would probably take that more to heart than me just like going out there and like, attempting to like, you know, be Bernie Mac, you know, you know, pretend to go out there saying like, oh, I'm not afraid of you motherfuckers, even though, there's some part of me that like, okay, I guess I'm not afraid to the point where like I don't want to get booed, but if I was just like to get some sort of like reaction to say the least, or I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I talked about those awkward pauses in a video 2 minutes ago. Um, I got 3 minutes left, and the only thing that seems to make sense is to give one last shot. Oh yeah, like while I was attempting to do those like videos, like I paid $7 for like a headset with a microphone, and I figured it would make more sense for me to like do those like you know YouTube karaoke's with like where I can hear the music and like basically the only thing that you would be seeing like in this video would be like my vocals and I guess now I would just take a look back on like the last video I shot with me singing Comfortably Numb and Wish You Were Here and see how much of a debauchery that turned out to be. And based on that, make a decision where I would go from there. Um, shit. I'm trying to think whether or not I took my Seroquel. Um, if I did, I should be feeling sleepy. If not, then it wouldn't make no sense to take it because at this point it's like 3:44, and like I know if it gets to like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or if I start seeing the sun come up, then like I just know like it'll make like I know if I were to like even if I were to go to sleep like right now it's 3:44, like I'll go upstairs, smoke a cigarette, I would optimistically I would fall asleep at 4 o'clock, and if I have to like meet if I have to leave the house at like 11:30, then I would have to wake up at like 10:30 or like 9:30. Uh, I typically like to like this morning. I was kind of surprised. Like I'm the worst when it comes to waking up. That's one of the reasons why I do not have a job. I'm unemployed because like waking up to me is like pulling teeth. But I discovered like like I had something to do. Um, Last Saturday I went to the botanical gardens with a group of people, and you know I'm motivated to get up and get out of the house. Particularly on Saturdays. Sundays, more or less, if I can get out, that's cool. If not, but particularly Saturdays. Um, yeah. I have to be up, like I have to be at the place by 10 o'clock, and like my alarm started ringing at like 8 or 7. I don't know. I just like remember hitting the snooze every 5 minutes. But after a while, it seemed to work. I mean, it's annoying to hit the snooze button, but like I know I have to get up, and yeah, eventually I got up. And yeah, the same thing more or less happened today. I mean, my mom is calling me. But yeah, I'll finish it with the next video. 10:06. Peace.